If getting economic relief to the American people wasn't so important, what our leaders are doing to us right now would be laughable. I have the latest news updates for you when it comes to the next stimulus. I'm going to explain everything out in just a moment. This is your stimulus update for Wednesday, December 3rd. This is the first major headline right now being reported by all media sites that top Democrat leaders are approving of the bipartisan relief bill. This is primarily Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. They're coming out and saying that $908 billion bipartisan bill that was just released, we are down with that. We like it. It's a good starting point, but it's not exactly what it sounds like. This is from the New York Times, and many other media sites are reporting it the same way, but let me scroll down to the most important part. I have it highlighted here for you. This is from Nancy Pelosi, and she says this: "Of course, we and others will offer improvements, but the need to act is immediate, and we believe that with good faith negotiations, we could come to an agreement." So what is Nancy Pelosi doing here? Why is she saying we're good with the $908 billion? I believe that this is a PR stunt. Let me explain it before you get upset at me. Just a couple of months ago, Steven Mnuchin offered Nancy Pelosi a far better deal. I mean, 2 times more the amount of money and all the different programs involved. It was a $1.9 trillion deal. And what did Nancy Pelosi say about that deal? It's inadequate. It doesn't do enough. It misses. It's no good. And she rejected it. Now, all of a sudden, we have a $908 billion deal and she's all with it and for it. And in fact, she's not even stating that she's good with it. She's saying that it's good as a baseline and that we will offer improvements to it. Do you think that the Republicans are ever going to accept the improvements that Nancy Pelosi puts into this $908 billion deal when it balloons to something that's $1.5 or $2 trillion? Are they going to accept that? Is it ever going to happen? Of course not. So why is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer even coming out in favor of this? Because like I said before, the biggest news right now when it comes to stimulus is the senatorial runoffs that are going to happen in Georgia. And one of the biggest things you can do when you have an election coming up is the PR game. You want to make sure that the people who are out there who are Democrats, independents, and Republicans are good with you. You want to present yourself as the side that wants more stimulus, that's good with compromising. We want to use this as a baseline. We want to get help to the American people. And Mitch McConnell came out yesterday and he did a terrible thing when it comes to PR. He absolutely rejected the bipartisan relief deal. The $908 billion, he said that's ridiculous. We don't have time to waste time. And it looked terrible for him. And then he offered a $333 billion super skinny, super targeted thing that nobody likes. Nancy Pelosi and top Democrat leaders come out today and say, yeah, we like this. It's a good starting point. It's a good baseline. It looks very good for Democrats and it polls very well in Georgia for the senatorial runoffs. I personally don't believe Nancy Pelosi actually likes this deal. I think she wants something much bigger and much grander, but she needs to say this right now so everyone out there understands that she is the party of the people who are willing to negotiate and get a deal done. By the way, Mitch McConnell realized his major mistake yesterday, and now this is being reported from CNBC and other media sites. McConnell says a COVID stimulus compromise is within reach. We can do this. That's not what he was saying yesterday. He realized his PR mistake. I gotta switch it up and let the people know that, hey, I'm willing to negotiate too. Let's go ahead and scroll down to his quote. Compromise is within reach. We know where we can agree. We can do this. And he said that on the Senate floor. Do you really believe that Mitch McConnell actually thinks that they can do this? No. His eye is now on the senatorial race too after the major flub he had yesterday when top Democrats came out on the complete opposite side of him and said, yeah, we're at least willing to work on this. They made him look dumb, and now he's got a reverse course. But where does Mitch McConnell really think they can do this? Well, this is reported by MarketWatch and others. McConnell says compromise possible on the new fiscal stimulus if Democrats move in the GOP's direction. Of course. So what does that mean? The $908 billion bipartisan deal, he wants it to move closer to his $333 billion deal, maybe a $500 billion stimulus program. Do you think Democrats are going to vote for that? Of course they're not. So when Mitch McConnell says we can do this, it is a ridiculous statement. Nancy Pelosi, when she says, hey, we're in favor of it, it's a good baseline. Of course we're going to implement more stuff into this and balloon it up to $1.5 or $2 trillion. Do you really believe that she's going to be able to make a deal with Republicans with saying that? Of course she's not. They're both playing games, putting themselves forward, trying to show we're the group that's going to offer a compromise and work with the other group. They're all eyeing the senatorial runoffs in Georgia. Whoever wins there is going to take the Senate. Whoever takes the Senate is going to have the power of the purse. Whoever has the power of the purse is going to be able to write the next stimulus bill. And if it's Democrats, it's going to be a $3 trillion bill. And if it's Republicans, it is going to be a targeted, small $500 billion. And they're going to look forward to keeping the debt in order, moving forward to the vaccinations and clearing this thing out. Whichever side you agree with is the side you agree with. But those are the facts. And that is the direction they're moving. And we will continue to keep you up to date here with all the factual, important information you need to know.